Hello, everybody. Boy, it's been a minute, hasn't it? Wow. It is really, really, really nice to be back on terra firma, shall we say. Hope you had a good holiday. Canada Day, July 1st. Up north. Was up in British Columbia for a week, which was cool. Got to see Alexis Young from our member agency, Definitely Real. It was really, really nice seeing her. Really nice to chill up in British Columbia for a little while. And yeah, it's been a minute since we've done this, so I'm futzing with some things. First of all, thank you to all of our members. I'm going to get to that here in a second, but here's what we're trying to do. Here's what we're trying to do from here on out. So, backing up a little bit, this thing has been going for about 2 years, officially, effectively a year and a half, right? So 2024 is when things started moving, and then also us figuring out what is going to be most important and most useful for our members, because we are a service-based platform first. The brief on this is very simple. As my voice goes, build a global home for independent agencies. The operative word there is home. We want everybody to feel at home here. The mission is to serve independent agencies and the brilliant people behind them. And our goal is more visibility for indies and more choice for marketers. This time last year, we had about 100 members. Now we're almost 280. And I can't begin to tell you how happy I am. I mean, it's it's amazing to me that we've gotten to this point. So part of this too is getting the site into some better level of shape. This thing was clunky before. It was very, very clunky. So we've been working behind the scenes to make this. Yeah, and you get to see my little you get to see the WordPress menu up there. But we've worked very diligently to try to make this easier to navigate. So to our newest members, you can see that we have 24 new members. So we left for Cannes, Kyle and I. And Kyle won't be joining us today. He had a thing. But 24 new members. We can't thank them enough for joining us. You can see them right there. And then when you scroll down, you'll be able to see that we've made this a little bit. It's not perfect yet. So let's say you want to look at agencies in Portland. Well, it'd help if I could spell. So Portland, you got Portland, Maine, the OG, and then you got Portland, Oregon, our hometown, and then you can see, and then also the date that they became members. So we're here to clean some things up, but this is a moment for us to thank all of our members and also all 24 that joined. And if you want to learn more, please, check us out. So we are trying something new. The idea behind this is that we had done radio before, and it was music, but there's some limitations to it. We had done some LinkedIn before, LinkedIn audio, which and that, it was good. It was great. It was a lot like Clubhouse. Remember that? Is that still a thing? I can't remember. I don't know if it is. But we discussed internally and it'd be like, yeah, you know what? Let's do a show. And LinkedIn also doesn't have audio anymore. So we use StreamYard. And so this is now a video/radio talk show. But it's one that we want you to participate in. So during Cannes, we had done a series called What's on Your Mind? And it's a very simple question. What's on your mind? I think that there are times in this industry when, we do want to dig into specific topics. We do want to dig into things, but we also want to know what's on people's minds. so that we can have healthy discussions and maybe healthy debates, maybe healthy arguments about the things that are going on in this business, especially as it relates to independent agencies. So essentially, this is becoming a little bit of, I don't want to say an experiment. That's not the right way to do this. Uh, but we do want to be doing this more consistently. And so we do want to start doing this more and more and more. So Mondays you will see you will see what's on your mind, and we'll have a topic because today we are going to talk about can a little bit. But I also want to know what's on your mind as well. So if you go to indieagency.studio, you can see it scrolling there. Our Chiron, as it were, our ticker, that'll get you back into the back end of the studio. The only rules that we have are be cool. That's it. That's all. Bonus points if you do say long-time listener, first-time caller. But we do want to hear what's on your mind. Before we get started, though, I do want to take a moment to send a lot of love our way to the folks at Tombras. So Charlie Tombras II passed away on July 2nd, and at the age of 83. And I can't say enough great things about Tombras. So I had first met Tombras. So they're part of Worldwide Partners. Shout out to John Harris. But I got a chance to meet the Tombras team in Miami. This was, God, I want to say it was, oh, wow. John will have to check me on this one. Was it 2016? I can't remember. I think I was still at the Drum. But getting a chance to sit with the folks from Tombras, they're such good people. And I want to give massive props to Dooley Tombras. Kyle and I got a chance to meet his lovely wife. We got a chance to spend like a little bit of time with him. Dooley's just a great human being and a great leader, and that agency is just firing on all cylinders. We're super proud that they're members, but more importantly, it's about the people. And they're doing a lot of things in Knoxville, especially at the University of Tennessee. But they've been growing and they've just been doing great work. And I cannot say enough great things about Dooley. Again, just really good human, really good human. And all the folks at Tombras are like that as well. So we want to send a very heartfelt, good vibes and a lot of love their way to the Tombras team. Charlie Tombras II, part of the important story of that great agency. So sending all the love your way, Dooley and team. Now, what else do we have going on? So I want to share a little bit about our awards. Ding, ding. So we currently have Weirdos, Misfits, and Underdogs. So I'm an idiot where, and this is part of the process of trying to build something, right? Where you're trying to figure out where you go with things. And so I had these timelines. Let's just say that they were compressed. That's being charitable about it. No, they were ridiculous. So we moved some deadlines around. We're moving some dates around. So this will be the first year that we go through the full complement of our awards, of which we have 4. We have another one that's coming up that is mildly attached to this one. This one is our People and Agency Award. So again, the idea behind this is that we want this to be very, very easy. So for agencies, here are the 3 questions. And then you have the optional context that you can answer these if you want. And then this is for agencies. And then this is for people. So you can see very specifically what we have. But also, and you can prepay for your entries. We'll talk about that later. For $100, you can get $100 per entry. But you can get the entry kit, and that'll take you right there. You can download that. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what we're doing with that. So the deadlines have been changed. Where did I put the dates? Eligibility, dates, deadlines. So it opened in May. The final deadline September 12th. Because listen, nothing's going on in summer. Well, stuff is going on. Stuff is going on in summer. So yeah, we would love for you to enter. Members get a 25% discount. Just get in touch with us to get your discount code. Also, a reminder here as well is this industry moves fast. So we want you to take a look at the Indie Tracker. I'm going to talk a little bit more about TimePath, our wonderful partner on this. They're over in Amsterdam. But we love this. We love that we can move fast and we can share information each day as to what's going on. So we remind you that is there. You can see it on the homepage, but you can also just go to the tracker on its own as well. So when you go to the homepage, you will see the tracker here. So there's some great stuff from Mischief. Jersey Shore, by the way. If any of you are from Mischief that happen to be watching right now, my family's from Jersey. So we got to discuss this Jersey Shore thing a little bit. For sure. But what we are here to do today is talk a little bit about Cannes. So this was our second year covering in Cannes. So thank you to the team at Cannes Lions. Really, it's a hard job. It's a very, very hard job, but they've always been super, super helpful for us and very welcoming and very accommodating. So we want to thank all of them for all the help. But so last year when we did this, I waited until the end of Cannes to do some math because, and I want to give Matt Van Hoven some credit on this. Well, a lot of credit, not some credit. He had asked me, God, this was probably back in early 24 or maybe even 23, where he said, I don't know if anybody's really tracking what indies are doing or how they're doing at Cannes. And he was right. And one show categorizes by indies, and Cannes does figure out Indie Agency of the Year and figures out all of that as well. Congratulations at Serviceplan for Indie Network of the Year. Members of ours as well. But I had gone through, so last year went through and compiled the data manually. I'm an arts major, so I think it was accurate. And then this year realized that we had an opportunity to do this a little bit more in real time. So AI is great for a lot of things. However, and I'm going to get to a point here in a second. However, it hallucinates. I liken AI to the overly enthusiastic 22-year-old who just graduated from college, who you've given an assignment to, and you said, hey, I'd like us to do this. Great. Okay, that's not what I asked for, but you're close. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, actually, no, you're right. I wasn't looking in the right place. So I look at AI as the over-enthusiastic 22-year-old that just graduated from college. And I'd rather have that than AI saying, go pound sand. So I am a big fan of Claude AI because a few things. Number one, there's really only a few of us running this thing, which makes it fun, first of all, but also we need to figure out where we can get some help. So Claude has been very helpful. ChatGPT has been very helpful in that respect as well. As it relates to Claude, there is a little bit more oomph behind it in relation to especially data sets and things that we want to keep doing more of. So my point is that I was using Claude and I was getting the data that you get from Cannes is very comprehensive. And the lesson here is we learned a few things along the way to make this a little bit easier for next year. The other point of this is, yeah, we're going to assign somebody to do this. We're going to hire somebody to do this next year because I was in front of the computer a little longer than I wanted to be. Kyle was out hobnobbing, and as well he should, by the way. This was the first year, brief aside, this was the first year that Kyle went to Cannes, and he had been covering it remotely for years. And so this was the first time, and he was very enthusiastic about it, but I said, just go hang out, go have some fun. And he did. So I was looking at this, but we were able to look at some of the data from last year, and you can see here that the winter performance was up a bit. Got some more data points here. You can see the shortlist performance. Can noted that there was an 18% increase in independent agency entries. But if we if we take a look at the data here, we can see that it tracked up a little bit. Now, we did break this down by performance as well. So you can go into each category. Yeah, I know there's some formatting issues. But you can take a look at where it all landed in terms of each individual. Design is interesting. I don't know. Yeah, that one should be up. Well, that's for next year. So, yeah, we broke this down so that people could take a good look at this. And then we built a little scoreboard for all of our members. Alto just joined, so we added them to the mix as well. So everybody did very, very well. And the most important part of this is, if you see any errors, please get in touch with us. And then we added some other indies as well. Agency name of the year so far is Bear Meets Eagle on Fire from Australia. That gets into the territory of Office of Baby, if anybody remembers that agency. I think they were out of Chicago. But Bear Meets Eagle on Fire. Oh, I just love that. They did a great job as well. And so that's what we were up to. And again, next year I think we're going to have somebody deal with this. Now, the upshot too is that there's always controversy that pops into can. And DM9 from Brazil got caught in a little bit of got a little hand in the cookie jar a little bit. It was noted that their entry wasn't exactly on the up and up. There were questions about gut and what they were doing. Ironically enough, Brazilians leading this, and Brazil was named. I think it was Market of the Year for Can, which I think is a great idea, or Country of the Year, I think it was, which I think is a great idea. I really do. I think it is a great idea. I mean, you're going to run out of countries at some point, but I think it is. I think it is a great thing. Now, it's just unfortunate that it happened to be those people, those agencies happen to be Brazilian. I know that we have members from Brazil who privately were saying, dude, this isn't us. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. It's just unfortunate, but it also points to how wildly competitive this thing becomes. And I don't want to give too much away, but you hear some things from behind the scenes that make you pause a little bit. And it is super competitive, and there's a lot at stake. And it's a shame that we even have to have a discussion about ethics and awards. I am very pro award. I'm pro award for a couple of reasons, and probably not the reasons that you might think. I'm pro award because I know, so from a business perspective, I know that it helps with inbounds. So let's talk about biz dev for a second. And if you want to join me, just go to indieagency.studio, and I'll pop you in and we can talk about this. We got about 10 minutes left, but I know it helps. I've seen it work. I've been at places and heard from people that, yep, you know what, awards help because it's part of visibility. And that's what we do. So visibility is always good. We don't care where you get visibility. Just please, by all means, get it. The side of it that I believe is more important, and it levels up to business development in a way. And here's how. And again, this is my opinion. Just take it for what it is. An award is a reward for a job well done. So if you're working at and let's throw holdcos in there. If you work at a big agency and you worked on an account that won a Grand Prix, that won a gold, and it's not just Cannes, it's D&AD, it's One Show, it's Clio, it's New York festivals, it's Epica, it's Garrity, it's who am I missing? I said Clio. Did I say Clio? I think I said Clio. I know I'm missing a bunch. London International. Hi, Barb. Who else am I missing? One Show. Jesus. Saw Kevin Swanepoel in Cannes. That was lovely. Love them. But here's the thing. So internally, what I've observed and heard, and I've seen this firsthand, it gives your team a huge tailwind. Now, there is a cult of chasing awards. I get that. But when it's done pure of heart and pure of mind, it can be really incredible to help build a tailwind. And I don't even want to use the word morale. Morale is something that is a constant in my mind. Morale is something that is built over time. If you're using an award win as a morale booster, you probably need to take a look at what you're doing. What I will say is the tailwind is one where it consolidates the thinking internally that we are good at what we do. Now, you want things to work. We are in the business of doing creative things. I want to give Bob Hoffman full credit. This is the only business in the world where creativity helps solve a business problem. It is unique to us. Shout out to Bob Hoffman for saying that. So consolidating that thought of being good, it's like, okay, that builds confidence. And I will say this time and time again, confidence is a huge thing. And that's been one of the greatest things about building this, is seeing our members get more confident in telling their story, which in turn gets them more confident in every aspect of what they do. And by the way, that levels up, confidence levels up to business wins and business growth. So if you have an internal team that is super stoked, you know what? That's a good opportunity. That's a tailwind. That's not morale. Morale is built over time and built consistently. And there are agencies that do it extraordinarily well, and there are agencies that don't, and everywhere in between. But that tailwind is a nice little thing. The other side of it is when you win, that is a great signal to talent that you are going to be in a place where the work that you do matters. Again, the cult of awards and constantly chasing them, I don't think that's pure of heart, pure of mind. If you are endeavoring to be recognized for your hard work, which is, well, you should, because this shit's hard. It is hard. But damn, is it rewarding. When it all comes together, it's incredibly rewarding. That's how I view them. You know, people will say, well, what about your awards? Yeah, we're doing things where we're raising the visibility because we want to celebrate that. Because we do know how hard it is. We've been there. We've covered it, but we've also been in it as well. All of us that are part of this have been on that other side of it. So we know how hard it is. This is turning into an op-ed. But I wanted to share my thoughts on that because, yeah, you know, the thing that really sucks is you've got one or two instances where, and kudos to Cannes for, you know, for really digging in on this, doing the right thing. But it sucks that we have to have this conversation in the first place. I don't believe that's the case with indies in general. Let me caveat that. In general. Back in the day, I heard, you'd have people just trying to get any sort of win they could get just to raise their profile. That is like fruit stripe gum, my friends. It tastes great for a minute, and then the flavor goes away quickly. So be pure of heart, be pure of mind, but be pure of knowing that being recognized for the work that you do among your peers and among clients is a good thing. It is a good thing. So I think overall Cannes was lovely. And yeah, we'll be back. And we're going to figure out what we can do even more to be able to serve, number one, our members, but also to serve the indie community at large. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, so we will keep doing this. And so again, this is the kickoff. Things will grow. Things will evolve with this show. We'll get more participation. We'll get more guests on. But again, we're going to keep an open line for all of you for future shows. Yeah, it's amazing. We haven't done a live thing since beginning of June. So Kyle and I left June 9th. And now we're coming up for air right after the 4th of July. But I have to say that 1 month stretch was amazing in a lot of ways. And again, I do want to take a moment to thank our newest members, Oliver, Bandits and Friends, SCC, another thing, McGarrett Jesse down in Austin, Eden Collective in New York, Poke the Bear, love that name too, Dallas, Gravity Road, Evesy, Mark Eves and Company, Honest joined us from Alto, New York, Obsessed Media, Barry Dan, Epico Awards, Nicolas Uve, team at Consigliere in Seattle, Kumar at Department of Creative Affairs in London, Attention Arc, McKinney, Young and Larimore, Cylinder, Iris, North America, Barbarian, Red Door Interactive in San Diego. Oh, I love San Diego. No Problem in LA. As yet to be named agency by Matt Kramer in New York. We're going to call it Von Hayes. Actually, yeah. So let's think. It would be, we go back to Philadelphia Phillies. Hayes, Schmidt, Hayes, Schmidt, and Trio. Hayes, Schmidt, and Kruk. We'll work on it. And of course, hyphenated in Los Angeles as well. We want to welcome them. We also want to welcome you to get to know us. Go to indieagency.news to learn more. Yeah, and we're on to the next. We are on to the next. A lot of great stuff coming up. We'll be sharing that on the site and also by our newsletter as well. On behalf of everybody at Indie Agency News, I'm Doug Zanger. We'll see you next time.